I say this about a lot of Pokemon, specifically starters, which this will make sense in a second, but I think Infinite might be one of my favorite starters. Fully evolved starters, obviously. I also like Blaziken a lot. I don't like Ambawar as much. As far as firefighting types go, I don't really mind the fact that we have 3 out of 8 starter Pokemon being firefighting. It's a little much, but I don't really mind. I'm happy that they don't do that every generation anymore, though. Gen 6 was Fire Psychic, Gen 7 was Fire Dark. We're real close to being firefighting, though. And then Gen 8 is Fire... just Fire? Also could very well be firefighting, by the way it looks, but it's... I guess it was an American football player rather than an actual football player. It would be firefighting. You hold an item around here, right? I think you do. Hold on. Oh, you can see what time I'm recording is at. That's fun. That's 25,000 steps. That's my Pokemon. Isn't there a... didn't I get the item dowsing up? There we go. I think there's supposed to be an item up there. But clearly that does not seem to be the case. Okay, never mind. I misremembered. Then why the hell is this here? I don't know. Do we go into the gym right away? I think we go into the gym right away. Just get the gym done and over with, and that'll probably also be a pretty decent cutoff point for the recording session. So let's see how we do. You know what? Actually, I think since we're going into the gym, where Justin is going to be our star Pokemon, it does not have a walking animation. I mean, I know that it's a psychic type Pokemon, and that you can excuse the fact that it flies, but it does not have a walking animation. It has feet, okay? I don't know if I like the fact that Alakazam doesn't have a walking animation. Anyway, we're still going to have Alakazam as our following Pokemon just because it's going to be the start of the show here. And it is... oh, that's right. This gym is also different than it is in Platinum. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't mind this gym. I think I might actually prefer it over the Platinum gym, believe it or not. And this is definitely a gym that you want... okay, I didn't mean to step there, but eventually we'll have to battle you anyway, I assume, so who cares? I might actually prefer this over the Platinum gym. I don't know that I do, but I think I might. I definitely don't prefer the second gym over the Platinum version, because as I've made very clear plenty of times at this point, I am underleveled. Wow. Okay, I might actually need to do a little bit of leveling before I take on the gym leader here. I'm going to give it a shot. But I think the Lucario might go up to like level 32 now that I think about it. Which is not okay for me at all. Then again, by the time we get there, we'll be like at least level 29, I assume. Because we're going to face a lot of the black belts. I've been holding back a sneeze for like 20 minutes. And not because I don't want to sneeze on camera, because I can just mute my audio. It's just the sneeze refuses to fucking come out, and it's actually the worst. So I'm assuming that we needed to clear that up, right? There's board over here to unlock this. And then we can go over here. Unlock that. Yeah, okay, so that's how this whole puzzle works. And then we can go back over here. See, I think this is a lot more fun as far as puzzles go. I don't know if it's about a gym, but it's definitely about a puzzle than the Platinum puzzle. Because there's not a lot of puzzling to that. It's just things blocking your progression, which I am aware that is pretty much the purpose of what a puzzle is. So maybe that's not a valid criticism, but I think it is. And you can go fuck yourself if you disagree. I can just skip this trainer altogether, I realize. No, I cannot, actually. It doesn't matter. I don't have to go there anymore. I mean, I can still skip you. I won't, because I need the experience. And I'll probably end up accidentally running into him anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Let's just fight you again. I thought you were going to block my way in for a moment. That would have been horrible. Again, I know that this game isn't thoroughly playtested because people online really like to point out how bad this game is, which is... I want to talk about that, right? Because I've been hating on this game a lot, and I talked about this a little bit in the last recording session, which is about, I think, 2 or 3 episodes ago. I complain about this game because I care. And I complain about little things, mostly, because all the big things are good. They work. The only big thing that I really complain about is the experience mechanic. And I think there is a valid reason for that, because you should be able to turn that off. I maintain that. But I think as the Pokemon community as a whole, we've gotten to the point where we are just like the Star Wars community. And that is to say, there's no people in this world who hate Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. And I feel like Pokemon has gotten to that point as well. There's nobody hating and bitching about Pokemon as much as Pokemon fans. And again, that makes sense, right? Because it's all coming from a place of... Okay, that's not great. It's all coming from a place of wanting to have something better. Wanting the product that you love to actually be as good as it can possibly be. That's alright. And to a certain extent, some of the criticisms do fall under that. But I also kind of feel like we've just gotten used to a new game is announced, so we have to complain and bitch about it, rather than just enjoying it. I, myself, complain a lot about Pokemon Sword and Shield. The way it looks, some of the mechanics in it, the National Dex bullshit. Which, the National Dex, it still bothers me a little bit. Mostly because there's no good reason for them not to include it, right? Because the whole idea about Pokemon going to 3D was to make it more future-proofing, and now it's suddenly a lot of work to make new 3D models? No, because you made ridiculously high-poly models for the 3DS anyway. Like, stupidly high, more than the 3DS could deal with. So it's mostly the bullshit excuse that I don't like. If you think about it, they were going to have to pull support for having every single Pokemon in every single game at some point. Because, like, okay, let's make this slightly political. Like, Pokemon has a bit of a capitalism problem with it, right? And that is that it's always aiming to grow. It's always aiming to be more than it was before. And that has a ceiling. It has a ceiling to where that is plausible to do. You can't expect to have a Pokemon game in, like, another 30 years, which has 2,000 Pokemon in it. You can expect support, like, on a collection app like Pokemon Home, where you can store all those Pokemon in boxes for collection purposes, to have support for every single Pokemon ever released. That much you can expect. But for a new released game, at some point they were going to have to pull that plug. And they pulled it in a very messy and bad way. And that's not good. But especially for this game as well, right? It's only got the first 4 generations of Pokemon in it. If you want to have your, like, Victini in this, tough luck. And that makes sense. Because it doesn't need to support every single Pokemon that ever came before. Or after, rather, in this case. It doesn't need that. But just have, like, the spine and the balls to say that, right? Just say, this is going to be our new design direction as far as, like, Pokemon go. We make a selection of Pokemon for each game in each region that we want to include. And there will be some regional variants sometimes and stuff like that. But not every game is going to support every single Pokemon anymore, which is also, for competitive purposes, also way more interesting. Because, yeah, obviously, every single new generation introduces new Pokemon that get used in competitive, But there's also a very hardcore of Pokemon that are always there. Like, well, actually, I don't think that's very true for the last 2 generations anymore. I think the last 2 generations very much did have a lot of more modern Pokemon in the meta. But still, when I played more meta competitive Pokemon, there were a lot of Gengar. There were like a lot of Mega Alakazam and stuff like that, right? Which I guess the Mega is a new Pokemon, technically speaking. But you get my point, right? There were a lot of old Pokemon being used in modern context. So having a little bit more control over that in a competitive sense also makes a lot of sense. Have you ever played any competitive game ever? A competitive card game specifically? Some like Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, all those kind of things. They tend to have separate leagues for legacy support because they know they can't support every card ever released and still have a balanced, fun game. And that's also something that, as far as I'm aware, I don't know much about the Pokemon card game, but as far as I'm aware, something that the Pokemon card game also doesn't do. And as a result, the only way for them to keep selling new cards is power creep. And as a result, we now have Pokemon cards with like 350 HP. Whereas it used to be the case that the highest Pokemon HP on any Pokemon card was like 120 Mewtwo, I think, right? That's what happens when you don't pull support. You have to make your new entries more and more powerful every single iteration, and at a certain point, it's just gonna get ridiculous. So yeah, I don't mind the fact that they pulled a bunch of Pokemon out of the games for support. I really, really don't. What I care about is the half-assed explanation they gave. But that is all to say that we as Pokemon fans have gotten very used to complaining about Pokemon. And I think that is pretty fucking toxic. So, if I may, just cut it the fuck out. Just enjoy the games. You're free to give criticism where it's rightly deserved, and that is obviously a very subjective matter. But don't don't be so hateful on every single thing that Pokemon does, because at that point, just stop playing Pokemon. Just stop playing it, right? I decided not to buy a Switch because I was not very impressed with what I saw from Sword and Shield. Had Sword and Shield been better games, both in like the marketing leading up to it and then reviews and Let's Plays that I've seen after its initial release, had it been better, I would have probably bought a Switch specifically for that game. I didn't. I bought a Switch specifically for this game, because this is one that got me excited. What I didn't do is go on Twitter and make a full-time job out of complaining about Pokemon Sword and Shield. And as both a Pokemon fan and a Star Wars fan, to a lesser extent, but still, I very much do like Star Wars, can we just enjoy things, please? Would be very fucking nice if we could just enjoy things. Again, I am aware that I'm asking this as a person who, like, 80% of my commentary, especially when playing Pokemon, is bitching. But now I'm bitching about bitching, which... That's like negative times negative equals positive, right? So I'm being a positive influence in the world right now. Yeah, by the way, I don't see me being able to win against this gym leader. I'm going to give it a shot. But we might have to postpone the actual gym fight to the next episode. That being said, I still do have Ralph, which Ralph can Flame Wheel the Lucario and probably deal a fair bit of damage there. Justin just leveled up again. We might be fine. We might be fine. I think the gym leader also has a Meditite though, so what I might do instead is I might actually lead with Wally instead. Also, I'm going to be using a lot more Confusion because I've been using Psycho Cut mostly out of Reflex because it's a more powerful quote-unquote move. It really isn't. So yeah, more more confusion. It's probably a good thing. And I'm going to... I probably should have done that before coming in here. There's probably in the department store I can buy Psychic, right? There's probably an option for that. I'm going to give it a shot first. If I lose, I'm going to check if I can buy Psychic. Aqua Tail seems like a good thing to have. Let's see what's your physical attack like. 35 versus 35 special. That's an exact split. Okay. That's 90 versus 60, but you can confuse. But do you really care about that? It's probably better than Fury Swipes, so let's just get rid of Fury Swipes for now. I also still have Holy, which has flying type. I still have a flying. I've been in this fighting type gym the entire time, not even realizing that I have a flying type. I don't think it has any flying type moves, actually, now I think about it, so that doesn't really matter. But we can go take on this gym. So before we do that, let's actually see if we have any things that I want to give to my Pokemon here. Which I guess I have 2 rare candies if I really wanted to use that. The Heat Rock doesn't matter because I don't have anything with Sunny Day. Amulet Coin maybe. I guess I could give the Fist Blades to Ralph. And then the Dread Blade to Wally. Because aside from Arceus changing its typing when it holds a plate, I still like the chibi art style. I've heard people say, oh, but it undercuts the dramatic portions of the game, which, that's fair. That is entirely true. Like, I can imagine that once you're on the top of Mount Cornet, seeing chibi Cyrus is definitely very anticlimactic. I said I was going to lead with my fucking Meditite, and then I didn't. But I can see that being very anticlimactic. But that's like 20 seconds. A climactic 20 seconds, but 20 seconds out of the game. And I'm going to be real with you. I dropped something on the floor, hold on. I'm going to be real with you. If you're playing Pokemon for its like narrative impact, it's not to say that you can't enjoy the Pokemon story. I like the story being told in black and white a lot, obviously. As most people, I imagine. But if you're playing Pokemon for its narrative aspect, and you're criticizing it specifically for things to do with the narrative, I think you should just be playing other games as well. Like, go play Final Fantasy. Go play fucking The Witcher. Go play Kingdom Hearts, which, look, there you have something. If you want to complain about a game on merit of its narrative, go play the Kingdom Hearts series, because you'll have a feel like that is a series that is very much built and based upon its narrative, and its narrative is just bad. I love the series to death, and I will play any game that comes out on any platform. I have bought consoles specifically to play the Kingdom Hearts games on them, the PSP. I am convinced that like half the PSPs sold in the universe were specifically to play Birth by Sleep, because that's like one of like 3 good games on that console. The other half was sold for Crisis Core. You cannot convince me otherwise. Nobody bought a PSP for any game other than that. Like, they might have played other games on it, but they bought them for one of those 2 games. But yeah, that is a series if you want to complain about. Is that Drain Punch? It looked like, yeah, that's Drain Punch. Now you're paralyzed, so fuck you. Now I outspeed you, so I have Bite. Should I be using... Oh no, I was thinking I can use a Dark type move to still be super effective, but that's not how that works at all, because it's a fighting type. I'm an idiot. Well, luckily Wally didn't really need the experience anyway. Machoke, look, for that we're going to go back into Justin. This has been a very emotional episode, hasn't it? I just needed to get some shit off my chest, apparently. I don't know. We learned that we're going to stick with Confusion because Psychic is just straight up not worth it in like most cases. And Confusion can also, well, confuse. Rock Tomb is a bit of a scary move, but we survived. We are slowed down, however, so you might actually be able to outspeed me now. But you're not, because you're a very slow son of a bitch, apparently. Please, Confused. You didn't confuse it. You didn't get confused. I asked you very nicely. I said, please. And then you didn't. That's rude. You had a light screen. Oh, I definitely should have been using Psycho Cut then. I did not notice the light screen at all. That's my bad. Play rough. Fairy is also super effective. Oh, I hate fairy type. It's been like 6 or 7 years at this point, right? Since X and Y. When did X and Y release? Like 2013? Has it been 8 years since Pokemon X and Y? Pokemon X and Y release dates. October 2013. It's been 8 fucking years since this typing was introduced. And I still don't know what it does half the time. But I could have taken care of Meditite easy with a Play Rough. We could have saved so much trouble with Play Rough. Okay, Lucario. This shouldn't be that big a deal, because I should be able to Flame Wheel you. And just like deal. I'm gonna say bit over half. That's actually stupidly accurate. It's more than a bit over half. It's more like 2/3. But that means that you're going to... I'm sorry, what? That was a one-hit KO Drain Punch? Which is almost a full heal. What? Okay, so what we're going to do here is a very good question, because I don't know. I guess I can try to Zen Hatbot. Question is, do you have a Steel type move? I think you do. Lucario, could you kindly fuck off? Look, if you don't have a Steel type move, I'm going to use Holy to absolutely annihilate you. At least I'm higher level. That's something. Okay, you use Bulk Up. You can use Bulk Up. I don't care about that. Actually, I do, because it also raises your defense, doesn't it? It does. Steel also resist. Maybe Dragon Breath? Drain Punch, I can probably live, right? Yeah, I can live one Drain Punch, which isn't a lot, but I can live one. It's just a start. So Dragon Breath should deal a decent amount of damage. What? Okay. I was expecting that to deal at least a little bit more. You know what? I have a couple of revives from the underground. I'm actually going to use one, because I never get to use revives in Pokemon games, because I always Nuzlocke them. You can Drain Punch me, that's fine. I'm going to... Critical hit, fine, sure. I'm going to... I have an idea. Because what I could do is I could go into Sparky and put a potion on Justin at this point. But then Sparky would be dead and Justin would probably still die in like 1 or 2 hits. So I'm going to go into Justin, assuming that I die in 1 or 2 hits of Drain Punch, then into Sparky, then use another revive on Justin. I think this is my best chance at survival. I also do outspeed. This is a very good thing. Apparently you have Metal Claw, which at least means that you won't you'll heal against Sparky. Unless you're all out of Drain Punch, but I don't think... Drain Punch has like 15 PP, doesn't it? 20? 15 or 20, I want to say. So let's use this on Justin again. Yeah, now you Drain Punch again. It's literally just because Drain Punch was not very effective before. And you're going to be back roughly... Okay, I need a critical hit. That's what I need. Or Psychic. I also just need the Psychic TM. And a little bit of leveling wouldn't hurt either. Realizing that Fairy would have been super effective against Metatide as well also would have been kind of neat. So Confusion, and let's just learn the critical hits and like max damage roll. Or I can avoid the attack. Please. Please. Please, come on, we can do this. We can fucking do... No, we cannot. So close. So fucking close. I have no grounds to complain about the difficulty of this game. And what the fuck was that? Again, maybe playtest your game before like sending it out to the world and making people pay money for it. So I'm not going to go back into the gym right away today. Am I? I might be. Depending on... Okay, so depending on if I can get Psychic here or not. If I can get Psychic, I feel confident that I can do this. Especially if we lead with Swablu. Where are the TMs in this building? There's a floor that sells TMs. I am 1000% sure. There always is. I think it's the next one. I don't think it's this one yet, right? It is. Okay. Low sweep, bulldoze, U-turn. Full swipe, rest, protect, safeguard, reflect, light screen, substitute, undo, work up, swords dance, double team, and flash. So out of these, I mean, brick break would be kind of neat as well if the light screen was a problem before. We have Fire Blast, Thunder, Blizzard, Focus Blast, Flamethrower, Thunderbolt. You know what? The Flamethrower would be nice, but I think Monferno will eventually learn that on its own anyway. And I don't know what Monferno's special attack is like, so maybe I'll consider it. Thunderbolt. It's not really relevant for this gym, but I'm going to buy it for Crash Awake. Because that's going to help me a lot. Ice Beam, not really relevant here. Solar Beam, definitely not. Psychic, that's what I needed. Thank you so much. And then there's like Shadow Claw. Oh, that's Dazzling Gleam. Might be better than Play Rough, honestly. I'm just gonna buy it because I'm apparently rich. And then this is Gyro Ball. I don't really care about. Giga Impact, don't really care about. And Hyper Beam, which is the exact same move but special. Okay, let's do some TM stuff. We have quite a few. We apparently have 5 Stealth Rocks. We have Grass Knot, which not going to be that relevant. Calm Mind. I could give Calm Mind to Justin. If I had a leftovers, I might. Because I could give Calm Mind to him and just sweep the rest of the team after the Metatide. Because Metatide can't do anything against me, I'm assuming. So, that's not a bad idea, really. Psychic. Okay, let's give that to Justin. I will not be able to bank on the Confusion. I don't really need Teleport either, do I? I'm just going to get rid of Confusion anyway, because Teleport might be useful from like a utilitarian standpoint at some point in the future still. When I want to teleport back to a route or something. And then Dazzling Gleam. I'm going to have to check Holy's stats first before I decide on that. Because I'm thinking you might be more physically inclined. Where are your stats? Your stats are... Oh, over there. You have a slightly better special attack than physical attack. And I think Dazzling Gleam and Play Rough are on par as far as power goes, right? So that's 80 versus... I think Play Rough is also 80. Play Rough is 90. In that case, I'm not going to teach it to you. I'm not going to teach it to you at all. I honestly think that the difference of leading with Swablu as well as having Psychic on Justin is going to be enough of a difference. Because Justin will be fresh for the Lucario. Because Dazzling Gleam is, or Play Rough rather, is going to absolutely annihilate the first two Pokemon. The only annoying bit about this is that I have to redo the entire fucking gym puzzle. I'm assuming. So that's less than ideal. But we can do that pretty quickly, I think. We have to redo the entire thing, right? Or can we just walk all the way? No, we have to redo the entire fucking thing. At least we don't have to redo the all the fights. Which, redoing the fights might actually not be such a bad thing. Now that I think about it a little bit more critically, because that would also mean that we get more experience. And I kind of need that. Which is really, really fucking funny, because this is what you get for complaining a little, right? You complain a little and then you look like an idiot. Only difference is that I record myself complaining a lot and then also record myself being an idiot, so you guys can see me being an idiot. And I also admit that I'm an idiot, which I think is also a fairly important difference there. That being said, for an idiot, I'm doing fairly well in this puzzle, aren't I? So maybe I'm not so much as an idiot as that. Apparently grammar is a real difficult thing for me, though. I do like the polished floors in this gym, and how they reflect. What I don't like is that it... Oh no, it doesn't reflect you on the sand. I thought it did for a moment there. Does it? Hold on, does it? Ah, it's just a shadow, okay. It looked for a moment like I had a reflection on the sand, which... Of course, that doesn't make any sense. But so far, so good as far as this gym is concerned. So now we push you back. Yeah, I've decided. I quite like this gym. The puzzle. I think I like this more than the Platinum puzzle. It had been a while since I've played the Pokemon Diamond version of this puzzle. Diamond and Pearl, really. But I think I like it. So, who is my lead Pokemon? Is it Swablu? It is Swablu. We're going to absolutely annihilate Maylene. That's her name. As a kid, I never understood why she had that band-aid on her nose. It's a martial art thing, right? It's like a boxing thing. It's like to prevent your nose from breaking when you get hit in the face. That's what it is, I think. Might not be the case. Yeah, also, you can't turn off those messages when people log on to games, and it's really fucking annoying. Anyway, Play Rough is going to say bye-bye to the Meditite, unless it avoids the attack. And you don't even set up a light screen as well. I would have expected also a light screen. But you know what? As long as you keep trying to hide behind things that lower my special attack. Okay, I actually expected you to just explode when I did that. This is very rude. Am I going to lose twice in a row to this fucking gym? I refuse. I refuse to accept that I have to actually go out and buy items for this. Is there anything else that I can do? I guess I can... Not really anything. The best thing to heal, honestly, is just getting a free switch in, because this is not going to heal the Meditite too much, and it's at like 2/3 HP. And then I should have given you Thunderbolt. Should have given you Thunderbolt. Let's see if... the reason I'm not using any of my Psychic Tap right now is because I want to save that for Match Choke, and then obviously the Lucario afterwards. So I want to burn the rest of my team on this one particularly difficult Pokemon. The Match Choke in the middle is absolutely... Can you stop avoiding my attacks, please? I know that you've decreased my accuracy on Luxio now, so that's kind of alright, but the play rough missing in the first place was kind of a big deal, because that's why I'm in the situation at all to begin. Fuck you with your super potions! I don't like you anymore. Can you please just go ahead and burn in hell? At least get paralyzed. At least get paralyzed. Thank you. At least I outspeed you now. Holy fuck. And the light screen wore off, so I can... that doesn't really affect me at all, does it? It will for the upcoming 2 Pokemon. Am I missing something? Did Drain Punch get a buff? Because it doesn't feel like Drain Punch should be this powerful. At all. So what do we do now? I guess at this point it's somewhat safe to go into Justin, because I think a Psychic will take out some Meditite anyway. Right? Because Psychic is a baller-ass move. Yeah. That's the answer to everything. Just Psychic. Should have just done that from the beginning anyway. Okay, Justin Grips level 29. That's going to be a nice little boost. Machoke. We can absolutely annihilate a Machoke. That's not going to be a problem. We can just... Hello, Machoke! I'm going to use one move, and you're going to be underground. By which I mean dead. Bye-bye, Machoke. Like, this is how a gym fight should feel, unlike the Gardenia fight we had a couple of episodes ago. Lucario. Okay, this is where shit gets fucking really out. Because it's going to outspeed and kill me. Maybe the one level up makes a difference. It seems like it actually might. Okay, that'll be a 2 kill. And bulk up. As long as I actually outspeed and it wasn't the speed tie, the defense up from bulk up is not going to matter. So this should take out Lucario. In theory. There we go. See, it's not that difficult. This game is fucking easy. Not a moment in my mind did I have a doubt. First try. I'm just going to cut out the other attempt where I died. Wait, now that I mentioned it, I can't cut it out anymore. Fuck! Safeguard. We don't need Safeguard. We also don't need Wally on the team, really, so... I don't really mind either way. That being said, this recording session went longer than I expected. I was thinking like 50 minutes we're going to be done. This is... We're like going into 80 minutes almost now. Like 1 hour 15 almost. So that's more like 75 minutes, but... We have to make it to the Pokemon Center and end of the recording session, and now we can use Fly, and I also obtained stickers that Maylene uses, which is fine. This better fucking be Drain Punch, by the way. There we go. That's actually... I'm probably going to give that to Monferno, because apparently Drain Punch is the most powerful fucking move in the universe now. Well, next time Next time we're going over to Pastoria City. And we're going to have Sparky do some things. So, Sparky is going to be our leading Pokemon going forward here for a moment. Which will not be walking with us because that Pokemon can't walk. That makes all of the sense in the world. And I kind of want Sparky to evolve before taking on Crash or Wake. Because I think his Floatzel is in the mid-30s or something, right? Maybe low 40s even? I don't think it's low 40s. No, it can't be low 40s. I think Cynthia's mid-60s. So the fourth gym wouldn't be low 40s. Mid-30s at most. Because there isn't a lot between this Lucario at level 30 and Crash Awake. Like, not more than 5 levels worth of stuff. Right? I hope. So, walk together. You're going to be my little buddy going forward here for a moment. So, I'll see you back next time when we go Crash Awake.